Hey folks, Bob Reese here with the Guides Forecast, giving you your fishing report for August 6th, Sunday. Another day to the ocean for me. There was not a south wind. There was a little bit of a swell that had a fairly short frequency to it, so wasn't terrible, but you know, once you got out of the influence of the river mouth to the north, it had settled down a little bit. But we did get out there about at high tide and started hitting fish immediately, but not quality fish. A lot of Chinook jacks. I started by Buoy 7, just outside the legal conservation zone, and headed west. And we, you know, as one would expect, you had a good first pass before they started going a little bit off the bite after the morning feed. And you know, we struggled getting quality fish, but we got two Chinooks, one that was just over legal size and another that was 22 pounds. Really nice upriver bright, just flaying through those. You can just tell there's a significant difference in the fat content in the flesh. And it was wild, which we're legal to keep outside. So definitely a good reason to fish offshore. I think there's still plenty of Chinook guideline to go. So, but those guys that went and did real well yesterday up to the north off the beach did not do well at all today. A lot of guides that braved the pounding, the north wind yesterday, went to the same spot and found next to no fish up there. So a lot of guides had trouble. We got lucky in the sense that we got a bunch of fish. Again, just those two early Chinook, but then we found a pile of coho and proceeded to catch another one Chinook and 7 coho. So we ended the day with 10. But it wasn't an epic bite by any means. The coho have been somewhat absent in recent days, so we felt pretty lucky finding them just to the north of the green line, about 66 foot of water, northwest of the tip of the North Jetty. It wasn't until a little bit later when the bite started tapering that the rest of the fleet showed up, but a lot of people overshot those fish this morning. We just happened to not overshoot them, so that was very little effort to the south. So that's basically the ocean report. So as far as the river goes, again, I didn't have my thumb on it really. I talked to a few folks that fish there. There was fish caught above the bridge first thing in the morning. Decent little bite on the Washington side. A little bit on the first part of outgoing, and then it was just hunt and peck from there. Some good fishermen put in a lot of effort for very little yield. So as is commonly the case, people come back to the dock with different perspectives about how this fishery is performing. Everybody had to work for them, that's for sure, but there were a few guys that were just very disappointed about the low level of action they had over the course of the full day. So I'm sure there was more fish caught on the red line between Buoy 14 and Buoy 10 on that last part outgoing tide. I don't know that for a fact, but sounds like kind of the first light bite above the bridge. It took a little bit of time to get going. I think it was probably on the first part of outgoing when they started biting best up there, and there was a fair number of fish caught, but then we still had a minus 1/10 of minus tide. And so when that started cooking out, people were searching pretty hard for biters, and they were pretty hard to find. So some folks fished the Desdemona light marker with not much success. Some folks fished the deep water on the Washington side below the bridge with hit or miss success. But there's definitely fish in the river, not always biting. More fish coming for sure. I heard Westport has been really good up there, so those are certainly Columbia River fish headed our way. So tomorrow, nice ocean again. I'm gonna try for the salt. I just like the fact that we don't have to look for fin clips on Chinook. And boy, our hatchery ratio today for coho was phenomenal. We only let go one wild one, killing 7. So we'll try it again tomorrow, but same sort of strategy applies. High tide's an hour later. We should see some fish on the green line out in the ocean. You should see some fish above the bridge on the Washington side. And the tides are starting to wane a little bit, so we should start to see some better activity as the week progresses. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hopefully some folks are taking advantage of the Buoy 10 webinar that's available to folks. And stay safe out there. Good luck fishing.